So far, I have been narrating you the story of recovery from the trauma at home up to the ICU, with an aim to draw lessons how all we can keep our cognitive functions, you may call it confidence, basically, intact, because here is where we start to break up when there is a big trauma like uh, brain stroke or something of that serious nature. So talking about, basically, because our aim is to talk about ways we can preserve our cognitive abilities and cognitive functions, and not start letting them decline and we reach 70 and plus. So when I was shifted to a normal room from ICU, I gained confidence, and I almost made a pledge with God Almighty that as I start recovering and get some health, I will devote my life to the service of humanity in whatever capacity, little or humble capacity I could. The third day, I there was a visitor to my roommate, and that young man was just below 30, and he was quite perturbed to see me, and told me that in tears almost that his wife, who was about 25 years age, she was suffering from the brain stroke, and within months she had a second attack and even lost her speech. Now I was quite I would say worked up. I was not hurt, I would say, because I was in that frame of mind to sort of find some way to help him. So that night, when my roommate was making some whining sounds like and he was saying oh, I just started thinking that there is a science of phonetics. In the morning, when this gentleman came, I just told him that look, there is science of. He didn't know. Maybe he said speech therapy is what people are telling me that I should have to take my wife. But he was living in a village, so I said that this for example, to recite the Quran in a correct manner, there are certain simple what you call programs, softwares. He had some idea about it, that there is a science called ilm tajweed, and he said yes, yeah, I know about it, how to pronounce the word which is starting with p, like pay, joining your t, your lips, so I said that if you tell her, she can make a voice. I mean, there is a sound box, her, he said yes, she can make sounds. I said, tell her that if she says ah and then say oh, then it means ah means come. So he was very excited when he was very in a hurry to go back to his village and talk to. By the way, after a year, 2 years, I was in contact with him, and I went checked up. His wife is perfectly alright. That's the good news, by the way. So I could see a sign of hope on his face, and the lesson here is that if you challenge yourself, even if you are have gone through the trauma third day, your cognitive abilities will not get decline or face any trouble problem. So the spirit of empathy is I would say that is great mover. It can make you make you do something which is not expected even from somebody who's normal. Anyway, now from that day on, I have never let this great gift of God Almighty, the cognitive abilities, get sick or tired while enduring the extremely tedious journey of recovery from brain stroke. Now this was a new dawn for me as well. In the dim lights of my hope, that day I became stronger in my resolve to start some welfare activities as soon as possible. And this is how the challenging journey of this Facebook group, recovery from all agonies, even paralysis, was started, just about 4 months after this. Now, making some future plans when we are faced with worst, predicament in life gives us, health to and gives us confidence, and that's what is, I would call it, is the cognitive, abilities. Now, when I was back home, it was the same stretcher, on which I had been to the hospital on the same kind of situation. I was back. Now, what I was thinking at that time is that the worst disability actually is not that I could not even, get up from the bed. I couldn't rise to sit and have food. I was helped to, rise to a position where I could, eat. And certainly I couldn't. Here I will narrate you an interesting incident, and there we might finish today's talk. That my wife, when she saw me the first very day, with, great anguish on my face, because I couldn't go to the toilet. And it's not really something easy. In the hospital there were, trained, paramedic staff who were, helping me in all kind of, problems and, all activities. So she, looking at my face, she said, "Do you know that now on, she used to tease me when I was in the hospital that you are having very VIP nurses helping you and all." And she said, "Today I am going to be your VIP nurse." And I gathered my wits and I said, "Am I that lucky that this VIP nurse is going to share the bed with me as well?" And then we laughed and we relaxed. This is what I am trying to now tell you, that if you do not let yourself, drown into the depression and into the, sad moods and all mood swing, we'll talk a lot about it, then nothing can happen to your memory, to your, thinking and your cognitive abilities. That's what I, today's, talk basically was, that if you can keep wits about, if you can keep good moods, then you will not get. Now, never think that we can't